pain versus intensity. This is important whether you are not very active, you're a weekend warrior, or you're a professional or Olympic athlete. It's really important to notice, and like many things in wellness, these things can be subtle but significantly different. So to help with, if you're doing any training, you're exercising, and you've been exercising for a long time, or it's the first time, when you're doing an activity, it really pays to pay attention to, are you experiencing pain, or is what you're doing intense? And basically, to make it really simple, when you think about it, it's obvious. If something is actually painful, that is your body's way of telling you to stop. That literally is the manner in which the brain, through the nervous system, will indicate when you're doing any type of movement or exercise or stretching, that when something actually feels painful, that's stop. Either you're doing the wrong thing or it's being done the wrong way. So the adage, no pain, no gain, many times when it comes to your exercise, your fitness, your athletic performance, and really your overall wellness, is an indicator that something's off, not that it's something you should push through. Now, that being said, when you are doing something, whether it's an exercise, it's a sport, it can be really any activity, when you're doing it and your muscles are supple and long, you have muscles that are not short but maintain a healthy length, you have adequate strength, stability, endurance, when you basically are balanced in your neuromuscular skeletal system, i.e. brain, nervous system, muscles, tendons, ligaments, and bones. When you've got that well balanced, which, by the way, if you don't, there'll be more information in my videos on the website. It's much easier and quicker than you think to get there. It's more thinking of it as a paradigm shift from a lot of information that we've heard. So, but when you are well balanced and everything is running well, then you have the ability to increase the challenge of whatever it is you're doing, whether you're cycling, you are strength training, you're running, whatever it might be, whatever the activity is, that when you maintain your balance, you have good form, you have proper alignment, your posture is good, you can make things more difficult. And that could be potentially by doing it faster, by doing it heavier, i.e. more resistance, or potentially doing both. If you're cycling, it could be using a lot of resistance while trying to go as fast as possible, or trying to push a bike up a steep hill. It could be when you're running. For instance, you could be doing sprint on flat or trying to sprint, up the hill. And those are just two examples. You can use this with any activity. When everything is, again, well-oiled, well-balanced, and you start to really push it, you're going to feel intensity. It depends how people think about it. Some people will call it pain, but if you really notice, it's helpful to make this distinction. What you're noticing is a lot of intensity. And whether you like a lot of intensity, mild intensity, at that point, that's good. If the intensity level is what's appropriate for you as an individual. But let's say someone that likes a moderate or a lot of intensity, when you're really pushing and feeling challenged, notice you're actually not feeling any pain. It can be really intense, and you may be also needing to encourage yourself mentally, which again is appropriate for some people and not necessarily for other people. That's another topic I'll be discussing, is understanding where you are, what's appropriate for you as far as levels of intensity. But again, it's subtle, but very important. When you are exercising, really pay attention. Is something painful, or are you experiencing intensity? And just as a little side note, an important one, most people most of the time are experiencing pain, or they may be doing something intensely and experiencing pain. So there's some good news. When you recognize it, you stop, you reevaluate what you're doing, and then you start up again. Just about everybody, regardless of the activity, will find that they can fine tune and make adjustments such that they can achieve an intensity level, whether it's low or high, with no pain. So that you're really pushing, and instead of your low back hurting or your hips hurting or your knees grinding a little bit, but you're really kind of toughening it out, you could feel your muscles really working. And for some people, those muscles are burning. I for one personally, am not big on that level of intensity, but for each their own. And that's one thing, a little tidbit, and aside for that, is that intensity, depending on body type, personality, and just who you are as an individual, does not always equate to what results or success you're looking for. Some people that love intensity can do intensity and get their fitness and health goals at that higher level. And there's some people like myself, I'm more in the middle, maybe even a little bit less. I'm definitely more of a hedonist than a masochist. Um, but if I have a good program, I don't have to, quote, kill myself or push myself that hard to see very noticeable positive results. So that's an aside, but it's important that, it's not no pain, no gain, and it's not like you have to do that in order to see results. So, but getting back to the topic, noticing the distinction between pain versus intensity. Intensity is fun, and especially for those of you out there that really like things intense, you will notice a huge difference when you really pay attention. And if pain is creeping in there, you look at what's causing that, how to rebalance that, and it'll be just much more enjoyable. But very importantly, you're not stressing your body out, because that's very common when people are exercising, or for athletes at all levels, is when something's painful, you don't want to grind through it. You're going to be setting yourself up for injury. You also very likely, if exercise is important to you or sports are, you literally could be taking years of good usage out of your joints or your spine. And the thing is, it's completely not necessary. That's the good news. Proper training, proper technique, a really well balanced body. Well, it's amazing what the body is capable. And not only that, the duration, when things are done well, there are people that can be athletic, from mountain bike riding to bareback horseback riding to exercising in the gym, that are just, as the saying goes, killing it, or just doing really, really well in their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Our bodies are so capable, but just like with pain and intensity, there's lots of principles, which there'll be other videos and on the website about, that when you follow these natural law of the body principles, it really makes a huge difference. You get everything you want, and you do it in such a way that you're not injuring yourself. So when you go out there and exercise, when you go out there and play your sports, do it with fun, do it with whatever is the appropriate level of intensity, and don't do it with pain.